Alright, it's 2.4, Piecewise Functions, Part 1. What I'm going to do today, guys, is I'm going to do each one of these problems into two parts. That way I keep the videos nice and short for you. I'm going to first graph our piecewise function, and then I'm going to stop the video. Then I'm going to restart the video, and we'll handle A, B, C, D, E, and F. Alright, that way it's not such a long video all the way through. Alright? Alright, so what is a piecewise function? A piecewise function up at the top in purple is simply a piece of a function, or pieces of functions. Alright, so for number one, we're going to graph y equals 3x minus 2, or f of x equals 3x minus 2. But we do have a restriction. We're going to apply that restriction after we do our basic graph, just to kind of get into the groove of graphing and remind us how to do this kind of stuff. Alright, so let's graph y equals 3x minus 2. Remember back in the day in algebra, that's like the form y equals mx plus b. That negative 2 in that equation, that's your y-intercept. So I'm going to go down, I'm going to put a point right at negative 2 on the y-axis. If my pen starts working here, that would be great. There we go. Alright, so there's my point on the y-axis. And then I'm going to use that slope. I'm going to go up to the equation where I see 3x. I'm going to put a 1 under the 3. That tells me to go up 3, right 1. All right, and I'm going to do that a couple times. So from the point on the graph, I'm going to go up 3, right 1. That gives me a point right here. I'm going to do it again. Up 3, right 1. Gives me another point here. I'm going to do it one more time. Up 3, right 1. I could even go down to my original point. Down at the bottom there, the y-intercept, I could go down 3, left 1, or I could put 2 negatives on that slope and go in the exact opposite direction. Okay, then what I'm going to do now is I'm going to graph a line through this thing. All right, so I'm going to do a nice, see as straight as I can through this thing like this, right? And let's just kind of okay. Get some arrow tips on here. All right, this indicates that our graph is a line and it goes forever and ever. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply this restriction. All right, and the restriction is this right here. We want the graph where only where x is greater than or equal to negative 1. All right, so where all the x values are greater than or equal to negative 1. So I'm going to go to negative 1 on my coordinate plane. I'm just going to drop down onto the graph. All right, so here's my value on the graph where x equals negative 1. And then I want to use all the x values bigger than negative 1. So that's all of my x values moving to the right of negative 1, which means I'm going to have this portion of the graph. All right, I'm going to do this nice and dark. So this is the only piece of the graph that we want right here. We don't want anything below that. All right, so like I said, I'm going to stop the video, and then we're going to go through, and we're going to do A through F. Okay.